XRP is potentially undergoing its final dip for investors to get in before we see full send mode end of July going into August and all of Q4, September, October, November, December, you name it. Now, in today's video, you need to make sure you understand what price suppression actually means as people are selling their positions. Big whales offloading their positions to bring the price down, scare the small investors, maybe like you and I that are only investing a few thousand or even tens of thousands of dollars into XRP. And this is actually the moment that we double down and continue to buy the dip and do not panic, do not fear, because at the end of the day, the analysts and the experts are telling us that XRP, buying it right now is extremely cheap compared to where it's going to be at the end of 2025 and going into 2026's final rally before potential correction. Now, remember, as always, never financial advice, just trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. If you're new around here, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm to show this video to more people, and also consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive in. First and foremost, the overall market is undergoing some price suppression and a correction. In my opinion, this is mainly manipulation happening to scare people out of their positions. After having a really strong few weeks, we're finally seeing some red. And this is how the crypto market works. For those of you that are entering the market for the first time, you might have gotten to XRP at a higher market cap than where it's at today, because we just broke a new all-time high. But understand, folks, please keep this in mind. Whatever goes down must come up, and whatever goes up must come down. We'll see retracements along the way. But look, even in the last couple of hours, the market's actually rebounding nicely. ETH coming back, XRP. And I hope that some of you caught the dip earlier this morning where we came all the way down to $3.09, and now we're at $3.23. But again, this is all temporary, because make sure when in doubt, don't look at the 7-day candles. Don't look at the daily candles. Look at the monthly. Look at the yearly. Look how far we've come in the last 12 months. And always remember, slight dips on the way, because look what happened here. Even end of 2024, we went to 271 all the way down to $2.08, followed by a rip to $3.38. Same thing now. We rallied to a new all-time high, retraced all the way down to $3 earlier today and 18 cents, 15 cents, maybe even 9 cents. And now we have come back up to 323. And this could be the beginning of a leg that we haven't seen in a long time. And again, the experts are telling us, guys, make sure that you understand that buying 1,000 XRP with $3,000 or $3 per coin now is insane, and you are lucky to buy cheap. This isn't something that we should take lightly, but instead embrace and understand what this could mean for XRP's future. XRP commentators are highlighting how good of a deal early investors got when they purchased XRP at a cheaper rate compared to its current value. Following XRP's recent surge to $3, several community figures expressed that accumulating significant positions is becoming difficult for most retail investors. Owning 1,000 XRP is now difficult for many because a lot of people don't have $3,000 to their name. Maybe at 50 cents, you were able to get 1,000 for 500 bucks. But that's what people are trying to say. But make sure you know this: XRP's incredible performance. Meanwhile, some investors reflected on how a portfolio of 1,000 XRP was initially worth $500 or less just in the past year, when the price was hovering right around 50 cents. But here's where things get interesting. If you go down and read a little bit more, while early investors have locked in some profits, and that's what we're seeing today, early investor profit taking, for 1,000 XRP at a bargain prices, experts like Dustin Layton believe that they could see more gains later this year. According to Layton, investors holding 1,000 XRP should prepare for a minimum profit of $50,000, meaning not a $5 or $10 XRP, $50 before year end. This $50,000 valuation is a minimum return of $46,400 if you invest into XRP today, particularly for investors who invest roughly $3,600 to acquire 1,000. Today, to get 1,000 XRP, you need $3.23 times 1,000, which is $3,230 at this exact moment at the time of this recording. But guys, nearly $14 billion of trade volume, up 63% day over day on a red day. If tomorrow's a green day in the market, XRP is preparing to rally like we haven't really seen before. Because you guys know I'm very, very volume focused, and you're probably like, why is he always talking about volume? Look what happened when we broke a new all-time high. our volume was right around $21 billion in 24-hour trade volume, mainly buys coming in and not as much sells. Right now, we're about 2/3 the volume that we saw at all-time highs. So if this is the spark that continues a rally into tomorrow, market open on Thursday and Friday, then we consolidate over the weekend. We know next week we have the Federal Reserve coming out and Jerome Powell talking about what they're going to do for interest rates with the federal funds rate and what to kind of expect in terms of hopefully a more dovish soft landing where they start cutting rates as soon as August. September is probably the earliest, but if they dare do it in July, we will absolutely full send, and I think we should expect gains like we've never seen before. This from the Motley Fool. Why XRP is sinking today? A lot of people are asking what's going on. So ETF delay. One notable piece of news occurred after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission delayed the conversion of Bitwise's crypto index fund into an exchange-traded fund or an ETF. So this, of course, spooked some investors. They were like, why is the SEC delaying the approval of a conversion from what they used to have in the crypto index fund into an exchange-traded fund to allow it to be traded on brokerages? Interestingly, the Division of Trading and Markets at the SEC gave Bitwise accelerated approval for the ETF conversion yesterday, but then delayed the approval later on, causing confusion. People are like, wait, what's going on here? Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balachunas wrote on X last night, I think they want to put out their generic listing standards first, which is probably coming soon, get comments, implement in time for the October due dates. That's my theory anyway. And I think he has something reputable to put around that. Of course, with Bitwise switching from a crypto index traded fund to a specifically ETF, exchange traded fund, if the ETF gets approved, XRP is a part of that crypto index, meaning that gives XRP institutional money allowance in the global market. And I'm talking the stock market, not even crypto at this point. If people want indirect exposure, which I think is quite strange in and of itself, I would prefer to have, self-custody or even centralized custody of my crypto with really strong brokerages to then grow with direct market exposure to those cryptocurrencies like XRP instead of just getting stocks that indirectly give me exposure through indexes. But to each his own. Should you buy stock in XRP right now? See, this is the kind of verbiage we're seeing via the Motley Fool to retail investors, the normies that are going to be coming in for the first time. And what's most interesting, in my opinion, is right now with XRP, the price action, the sentiment. Look at the community sentiment. Let me make my screen a little smaller so you guys can see that. Look at this right here. Do you guys see that? We're at 88% bullish and only 12% bearish. We have people like Vlad 15 hours ago posting XRP heating up bull trap or bull run. After hitting a fresh new all-time high, XRP is consolidating above $3.35, a key level for bulls that they're defending. Meanwhile, the traders have stacked 258 million in shorts around 368, betting on a reversal for a double top. Yet XRP is holding strong at 350, right now 323. The idea is to just stay above 3 through the rest of the week and into the weekend. That could push us potentially up to $5 or $7 if we have a really strong rally early next week. So always be prepared, not surprised. Overall, people are excited. We're seeing the market starting to heat up. We're starting to see true volume. And you can see that even in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's volume at $66.5 billion, which is amazing. Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume at $40 billion. And of course, as I mentioned with XRP, we're over 13.97, nearly 14 billion United States dollars, exchanging the hands of traders across exchanges and decentralized exchanges. And you can see those via the markets tab on CoinMarketCap, $1.5 billion on Binance. As with their USDT pairs, Coinbase, $776 million of volume, OKX, $326 million of volume. Absolutely phenomenal. So guys, this is not the time to sell. I'm going to continue to repeat that and make sure you all hear me. You need to make sure you have your trading strategy and trading plan. If the market turns red, don't treat it as a panic button. Do not click it. Do not click the sell button because you don't realize losses until you click the sell button. I've been saying that time and time again. I have friends, family who told me, hey, is crypto going to zero? When Donald Trump announced his tariffs back in February and the market was just nosediving, everyone was in panic. XRP fell below $2, below $1.40 actually. Quite for just a little episode of time. But I mentioned time and time again, that is the time to double down. That is the time to stay convicted in the plays you truly believe in long term. So with all that being said, I appreciate you guys' support as always. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you found the video informative. And if you did, leave a like button on your way out. Consider subscribing. And until next time, as always, keep investing. Peace.